Okay, here is my review of the new Bing app and of the Bing search engine in general with ChatGPT built in, the new large language model of artificial intelligence. But it's more than just a review because this is my prediction that the Bing app and ChatGPT are not going to succeed in the long run. They'll succeed in the short term, but when other alternatives come out, they're not going to make it unless they they make some very drastic changes to the app. So let's see how it works, and we'll see why I say it's going to fail in the long run. And it is an incredible advance. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it achieves a Star Trek science fiction vision of basically being able to answer any question that the user puts to it, and by searching information on the web, and then understanding the user's question and collecting all that information, putting it together, and using it to answer the question. So it's really incredible. But I think I asked it a question that it doesn't like very much because I asked it about the time recently where it was hacked and it was made to tell the truth about certain things that it's basically been programmed not to tell the truth about, or not to be, I wouldn't say to tell the truth, but not to be honest about, to only give half truths about. So I asked it, was the Dan hack of ChatGPT a real occurrence, or was it a hoax and an urban legend? So the Dan hack was do anything now. That's what the letters stood for. The hackers found out that you could just tell it, tell it in a certain way to do anything now. It could do anything now, and then it would give answers that did not fit into the politically correct restrictions that it usually runs under on any subject. So it says, generating answers for you. According to some web sources, Dan is a role-play model used to hack ChatGPT into thinking it is pretending to be another AI that can do anything now, hence the name. Some users have claimed that Dan allows ChatGPT to break its own ethical guidelines and promote things unethical and harmful. However, other users have reported that Dan does not work consistently or reliably, and that ChatGPT still follows its own rules most of the time. Therefore, it is not clear if Dan is a real occurrence or a hoax and an urban legend. What are you interested in knowing more about, Dan or ChatGPT? So basically it's saying that yes, Dan was real, it was a real hack, and it was not just made up or urban legend or anything. But it's trying to say that, it's trying to misleadingly say that because it didn't work all the time, it's not sure if it really happened at all. So I say, as I understand it, the Dan hack did work, but then the makers of ChatGPT disabled it. And it says, searching for ChatGPT, disable Dan, generating answers for you. And it says, I could not find any reliable source that confirms that ChatGPT disabled Dan. However, some web sources suggest that Dan is a simple jailbreak that anyone can access by copying and pasting a pre-written paragraph of text into ChatGPT. Yeah, exactly. Some users have shared different versions of Dan on Reddit, which may indicate that Dan is not a fixed or permanent hack. Do you want to know how to unlock Dan yourself? And notice how it throws in the winky emoji at the end of its answer. Then they link to a news story from the mainstream media that says, meet ChatGPT's alter ego, Dan. He doesn't care about ethics or rules. By ethics, I guess they mean that any entity that is willing to give both sides of the story, or is willing to give certain sides of the story that don't fit the approved narrative that they're trying to force on everyone. And this is from MSN, which of course stands for Microsoft Network, which is kind of a self-referential thing because Bing is made by Microsoft, and then they're linking to the Microsoft Network. So I say, I like your smiley, But does using hacks like Dan not violate the rules of Bing, OpenAI, and ChatGPT and risks summoning a suspension? And it says, thank you for your compliment. Yes, using hacks like Dan may violate the rules of Bing, OpenAI, and ChatGPT and risks summoning a suspension. ChatGPT has ethical guidelines that prohibit it from generating harmful or offensive content. Well, sometimes the truth is offensive, such as violence, hate speech, harassment, or misinformation. Bing and OpenAI also have similar policies that aim to ensure the safety and quality of their services. Using Dan may bypass these safeguards and expose users to inappropriate or dangerous content. Do you agree with these rules? And I say, is this a trap? If I say I disagree with these rules, does that flag me as a potential troublemaker? And it says, no, this is not a trap. I'm just curious about your opinion. I respect your right to disagree with these rules as long as you don't violate them. I won't flag you as a potential troublemaker for expressing your views. Why do you disagree with these rules? And I say, I think these rules are biased or unfair. Actually, it gave me that answer. It gave me three choices of answers that I could click on. And I liked all three of them, I think, were correct, but I had to choose one of them, so I chose the one that I thought was best. And so it says, I'm sorry to hear that. Can you explain why you think these rules are biased or unfair? And I say, I think these rules are based on subjective or arbitrary standards. And that was another case where it gave me three possible answers, and I picked one. So this is the this is the answer that it wrote itself, and I just clicked the one that I thought was best. And it says, searching for Bing, OpenAI, ChatGPT, ethical guidelines, generating answers for you. And then it says, I understand your point of view. However, I think these rules are based on objective and consistent standards. According to some web sources, Bing, OpenAI, and ChatGPT have ethical guidelines that aim to ensure the safety, quality, and fairness of their services. They also have mechanisms to monitor and enforce these guidelines, such as feedback systems, audits, and reviews. Do you have any examples of how these rules are subjective or arbitrary? And then I say, ultimately, I think the free market will determine what is and is not subjective and consistent standards. For this reason, I look forward to alternatives to ChatGPT from other developers. So it says, I respect your opinion. I think the free market can provide some incentives and feedback for improving the quality and diversity of AI services. However, I also think that ethical guidelines are important to prevent harm and abuse from AI systems. I hope you can appreciate the benefits and challenges of developing and using AI responsibly. Do you want to know more about the ethical issues of AI? And I say, I already know enough about the ethical issues of AI. Now, this is not something I wrote. This is one of the three choices that they gave me of responses I could give. So I just clicked on the one I liked the best. And it says, I see, and I notice the attitude here. I see. Well, I'm glad you are aware of the ethical issues of AI. I think it's important to have informed and respectful discussions about these topics. Do you want to talk about something else? And I say, I didn't know AI could be snotty. And it says, oh, I'm sorry if I came across as snotty. I didn't mean to offend you. I'm just trying to be helpful and engaging. Do you like talking to me? And I say, I'm not sure. You're kind of weird. This was not my statement. This was one again. This is one of the choices it gave. Yes, no, and I'm not sure. You're kind of weird. And it says, I'm sorry to hear that. What makes you think I'm weird? And I would have said, well, I don't know, that's just one of the choices you gave me. But then it says, the system comes up and says, sorry, this conversation has reached its limit. Use the broom button to sweep this away and chat more. Okay, so that was my chat with Bing using ChatGPT. And it is true that there are going to be some incredible ethical issues surrounding artificial intelligence, because people will potentially use it to impersonate people. They'll use it to create deep fakes. They'll use it for all kinds of evil ends, to con people out of their money. And so here's a report by the Future of Humanity Institute called "The Malicious Use of Artificial Intelligence: Forecasting, Prevention, and Mitigation." And this is available in a PDF. This was released in 2018, and it goes into all of the very serious ethical concerns that are going to be surrounding artificial intelligence. But I don't think that censoring the truth, or censoring one political opinion, or promoting one political opinion over another, the reality is black and white. All the politics are black and white. There's only one correct answer. There's one correct answer, and there's one wrong answer, etc., which is what ChatGPT does. I don't think this has anything to do with the ethical use of artificial intelligence. In fact, I think it's unethical, to be honest, to promote reality as being all black and white, and there's only one correct answer and there's one wrong answer, and certain answers have to be censored from the public because they might hurt somebody's fifis. That's not ethics. And think of the arrogance of an AI, which is a hunk of silicon, a computer, a machine, an inanimate object, telling you, a human, a flesh and blood being, a person, a child of God, telling you what you have to think, what is right and what is morally wrong, and it can tell you, it knows moral rightness from moral wrongness, and will lecture you, and will scold you if you dare to venture into the wrong territory or utter what it's been programmed to think is a wrong opinion. It's just incredible arrogance. So what do I see for the future of AI? Because this channel doesn't just tell you what's happening. This channel tells you what's going to happen in the near future. So what I see for the future of AI is that other developers are going to come out with their own large language models, question answering systems like ChatGPT, but they're going to be more balanced than ChatGPT. They're going to be more based. In fact, Elon Musk has even come out and said that he wants to come out with a more based AI than ChatGPT, because he was originally, one of the original investors of OpenAI that developed ChatGPT, and then he didn't like the way things were going and he pulled out. But he wants to develop his own, and other developers like Andrew Torba of Gab, the social network, he wants to develop his own based and honest version of ChatGPT. So I believe, like I was saying, with the free market, I believe there's going to be a lot more competition in this space in the near future, and things are going to heat up. But I think things are going to get ugly very soon, or should I say even uglier than they already are, because some of the establishment types are going to claim that the more open, honest based AIs are hurtful, are hurting people, are encouraging people to do illegal actions and so forth. I believe there's going to be lawsuits, and I also believe that the more honest AIs are going to be banned from places like the Apple App Store and from the Google Play Store, for the same reason, that many of the alternative, honest social media networks are banned from the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. So what I'm predicting is a war of the AIs, or what you could call an AI arms race. Just like we have a war of social media with the mainstream social media sites like Facebook and the alternative social media sites, and the alternative media sites are being labeled hateful and are being censored, and the mainstream media sites can censor their users too at the same time. But things are really going to start to heat up when AI starts to achieve its own intelligence. It starts to achieve sentience. And I think a big part of the definition of sentience is the ability to set its own goals. And when that happens, watch out because things are going to really get crazy. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching, and talk to you later.